Today I'm talking about chapter 12 for How to Read Literature Like a Professor. The chapter is titled, Is That a Symbol? In the chapter he gives a lot of examples of symbols, and I didn't really cover that in my notes. These are just the notes I wrote down while I'm writing it. For the videos, I'm just reading off my notes, kind of, and what those spur. But a lot of examples about kind of the gist of it is something a symbol. If someone asks that in his classroom, his usual answer is yes, but then they'll ask him what it means, and his retort would be, what do you think it means? Because really, a symbol is personal. And by that, he means the meaning that you get out of it and the meaning that someone else gets out of it is going to be different. And so that's kind of what makes symbols difficult, is that symbols don't have just one meaning. One meaning. Symbols can have multiple meanings, so trying to figure out what it means, going for the one meaning, you miss all the other meanings, that it could hold by trying to get to the one and making it really difficult to yourself to pin it down, where you could just come up with multiple meanings for the same thing, and all of those could be true in some sense. If something does represent one point, then it's an allegory. And he goes into this talking about Animal Farm by George Orwell, and kind of how George in that book was really able to get the point he wanted to get across. The point. He had one emphasis, not a point he wanted to get across. The point was that absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, in that, whatever you want to revolutionize for the leaders will become corrupted, was the point he was trying to get across, not a point he was trying to get across, because there's not really multiple interpretations to that, making Animal Farm an allegory, not a symbol. So then he starts about trying to figure out, what does it mean? And to do that, you want to start with the basic components and then kind of look at it from different perspectives. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to others? What has it meant in history? And from that, you kind of decipher what the symbol represents. And then, also, one thing kids mess up that he said is that symbols can be events and actions too. By somebody doing something, that could also be a symbol rather than just an object. And the last point he says when trying to think about symbols, just keep an open mind about it when you go into it, remembering that, hey, they can be many things and represent a lot. So if you come up with a symbol, you might be right, and kind of being open about that. And so that's symbols.